Hello, family members. Hope you're having a nice day today. I am here to talk to you about someone I admire very much, and I think you can probably tell who I'm going to be talking about here. Yes, the illustrious Frida Kahlo. Now, Frida has kind of become a lot more present in modern pop culture than she was when I was growing up. I imagine that started with the same thing that exposed me to her myself, which was Salma Hayek's movie. Um, I have seen a worrying trend when it comes to Frida, is I see the aesthetic of Frida being commercialized, but wiped of all context. The aesthetic of Frida is not this. It's not a woman with a flower crown and braids in her hair and strong eyebrows. I mean, obviously that's part of her paintings. You can see that. But, Frida is this. You know, Frida is this. Frida is so much more than just that aesthetic, and you see merchandise like this a lot that's clearly meant to evoke the aesthetic of Frida, completely divorced of Frida. What we do is we see all sorts of co-opting of this image and all ignoring of these types of images. And that, I think, is very telling. It makes me wonder, have we completely lost the message of Frida in the way that pop culture has adopted her in some ways and erased her in the process? Now, she was a very important figure, not just because of the quality of the art that she made, which was incredible, but because of the fact that she was disabled at an early age, she was queer, she was in a marriage that was not monogamous, although we weren't talking about non-ethical polyamory. It was certainly polyamory. Her husband, not exactly a looker, but he must have been a really good lover, I guess we'll say. But, from the time that she was in that awful trolley car crash and was in pain for the rest of her life, she went through a lot, and she pushed boundaries in ways that people, I don't think, understand. I mean, here is herself painted into one of Diego's, uh, you know, uh, gosh, paintings, the big paintings on wall, murals. There we go. Sorry, my brain. But as a man, and that's not the only painting we have of her where she painted herself as a man. There's this weird dichotomy between the somewhat traditionally Mexican looking couple and who they really were. And then, to have her point of view as a disabled person, as a woman, as a Mexican, and, have her experiences contrasted going into, the United States and all the things that she went through there. It's incredible. She had so much to say, and she said so much in the short time she had in the paintings that she made, but for some reason, we still want to make her that. And when people do Frida Kahlo, I'd love to see Frida Kahlo prints like of these types of paintings available. But you don't see that. You might see something like this because it's a self-portrait, but you don't see the ones that aren't. Or the self-portraits like this that are not as stylized, not as pretty. There's so much symbolism in a painting like that. It says so much. And we don't get that. It's abandoned in favor of an aesthetic as a shorthand. Like, I'm smart because I like Frida Kahlo, and never mind, they probably don't know what any of her artwork is like outside of the things that she made that were self-portraits. I mean, look at this. Have you ever seen a disabled person actually express how it felt to be bedbound in an artistic manner? How often do you see things like that? You know, it's just, it's amazing to me that, you know, she said so much and we don't listen. We just don't listen. And it's so frustrating because you know that she was such an incredible voice, but yet you know that people don't pay attention to what she was telling them. And that just drives me crazy, you know. She had so much to say. And if the best we can do is to co-opt her image to sell bric-a-bracs, then I think we screwed up, man. Sorry, Frida. You deserve better than that. You know, one of the most transcendent experiences of my life. Sorry, Casey. Whoa! That's what happens when you sit on mommy's feet and she's recording, buddy. Sorry. One of the most transcendent experiences of my life was getting to see this painting, this specific painting, in person at the Bronx Botanical Gardens. They were having a special exhibit, and that painting and some of her other sketches and things were there, and I got to see them. They recreated some of the gardens at her home, and it was just such a wonderful experience because she felt so present, and all of the things about her that you knew, you learned more, you saw more, because you weren't just seeing this image, you were seeing more of her. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, family members. And I assure you the dogs are fine. Dogs are fine. Yeah. All right. Take care of yourself.